warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank to Allah that has given us everything so we can attend the webinar this afternoon. And don't forget, let's say to salawat to our Prophet Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who brought us from the darkness to the brightness. I also want to thank to our research person and all of you for this great opportunity. Let me introduce myself as moderator of the Anti-Corruption Education Webinar Program. I'm Clarisa Thiasel, a student majoring in law. So, our webinar this afternoon is about anti-corruption education, which aims to form an anti-corruption personality in oneself and to build enthusiasm for a clean society and state that is free from the threat of corruption. Allow me to introduce our research person to this webinar, Mrs. Najwa Shihab. She is an Indonesian host, journalist, actress, feminist, and social media activist with Indian, Bugis, and Arab ancestry. She was born in Makassar, South Sulawesi on September 16, 1977. Najwa continued her education at the University of Indonesia and majored in law until she graduated in 2000. After graduating from the University of Indonesia, she chose his career as a journalist. In 2008, she received a master's scholarship from the Australian government and then chose an educational institution, Melbourne Law School. While pursuing a master's degree at Melbourne Law School, she majored in media law. Welcome to Mrs. Najwa Shihab to provide the material. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to moderator and audience for respect for giving me the opportunity to deliver material on anti-corruption education. Before I deliver the material, introduce my name is Najwa Shihab. I'm 44 years old, and esteemed guests, allow me to present the material about anti-corruption education. This material aims to form an anti-corruption personality in oneself and to build enthusiasm for a clean society and state that is free from the threat of corruption. As we know that corruption is an act is contrary to the general rules that apply in society. Corruption in Indonesia has been considered an extraordinary crime. Saying this reality, a public judgment arises that corruption is a manifestation of the nation culture. Many efforts have been made to eradicate corruption. However, so far, the results have not met the expectation of the community. The meaning of the word corruption is something that is wrong, evil, and destructive. Based on this fact, acts of the corruption involve something that is moral, raw in nature, and circumstances, involve the position of government against of apparatus, abuse of power in office due to giving, involve economics and political factor in the placement of a family or group into service under the authority of the position. Basically, corruption occurs because of internal factors, intention, and external factor, opportunities. There are many obstacles in eradicating corruption, especially when corruption has been systematically run in all aspects of people's life in a country. Various ways have been tried, but the practice of corruption is still fertile and growing, both in terms of quality and quantity. The failure of eradicate corruption in the past should not dampen the desire all parties of eradicate corruption. It should be understood that there is no single concept that can answer how corruption must be prevented and eradicated. All methods, strategy, and effort must be carried out in order to eradicate corruption. Various strategies or efforts to eradicate corruption developed by the United Nations called the Global Program Against Corruption and made in the form of the United Nations Anti-Corruption Toolkit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. That's the material about anti-corruption education that I can convey. may I be beneficial to us all. I'm sorry for my mistakes during this presentation. That is all. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, I will return to the moderator. Thanks to Mrs. Najwa Shihab for the presentation of the material. Now we come to the question and answer session. Don't forget to mention your name and your question or suggestion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to the moderator for giving me the opportunity to speak, and also thanks to Mrs. Najwa Shihab for her presentation of material related to anti-corruption education. Introduce, my name is Terima Kasih from the Faculty of Law, Bung, Hatta University. As stated by Najwa Shihab earlier, that basically corruption occurs due to internal factors, intention, and external factors, opportunities. Then, what are the internal and external factors of the basis of the corruption? Okay, thanks to Ms. Agina for the question. Welcome to Mrs. Najwa Shihab to answer questions from Ms. Agina. Okay, thanks to moderator for giving me the opportunity to answer Ms. Agina questions. Okay, thanks to Ms. Agina for the questions. Okay, I will try to answer questions about internal and external factors that are the basis for the corruption. Intention are more related to individual factors, which include behavior and values they adopt, while opportunity are related to the prevailing system. Effort to prevent corruption can be started by instilling anti-corruption values in all individuals. There are at least 9 anti-corruption values that are important to be instilled in all individuals, namely honesty, caring, independence, discipline, responsibility, hard work, simplicity, courage, and justice. Okay, that's all my answer. How about Ms. Agina? Do you understand more about the internal and external factors that are the basis for corruptions? Thank you, Mrs. Najwa Shihab, for the answer, and thank you again so I can understand the internal and external factors of the basis of the corruption. You are welcome, Ms. Agina. Okay, I will return to the moderator. Thank you to Ms. Agina for the question, and thank you to Mrs. Najwa Shihab for her response to the question given by Ms. Agina. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end part of our webinar. We would like to say thanks again to our research person and audience for active participation. So I think that's enough from me. I'm sorry for my mistakes during this webinar, and thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.